have yours.
All right, so it's been a minute since I seen this guy right here. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely was all ears and trying to soak up game when I first ran into young Pharaoh, dog. And I still say that he has some things that you can learn from, but dude is also, I don't know, take it with a grain of salt. I'm gonna say that.
I was placed in this hospital room for high blood pressure complications. I did everything my doctors told me to do, including taking the prescribed medications, which I've been on for years. But I still ended up here. When I got out, I learned about my autopleep, an all-natural extract that got my hypertension under control. Don't continue to drug yourself into becoming healthier. Go to myautopleep.biz to learn more.
Why the hell so many people are trying to tell me to slow down? Seems like motherfuckers should be shutting the hell up and enjoying the show.
What's wrong with me having on an Afrocentric shirt?
I don't see anything wrong with the shirt, but that chain is blinding.
Listen to me, right?
Okay.
As a black woman, you asking me about the cost
straight into it. Intense.
Of my artifacts.
Right.
That you would say are jewelry. These are artifacts.
Oh.
Yeah, when I pass away, these just going in the museum somewhere.
Why does it sound like the way she said "oh" just sounds so condescending and undermining? I don't know. We started with the heat. Let's see.
Artifacts, not to be touched. Now, you more worried about the value of these artifacts other than the symbolism. Let me ask you, what does this mean?
I don't know what that means. It looks like the LGBTQ.
Exactly. You ain't even ask. What
does it mean? Walk us through it. No, seriously.
This is called the flower of life.
Okay.
Same thing I got tatted on my hand.
Okay.
1.618. Now, I believe in divinity. My indictment number was 01618. That's the Fibonacci sequence. That is the level of, anything in the universe. If I take that paper cup and I rip it up, even if it's in different sizes, it's always going to have a mathematical ratio of 1.618.
Yeah.
This right here is the story of the universe. When you having a child, right? And the embryo in your womb is developing into a fetus, it develops at a mathematical ratio of 1.618.
Okay.
So this right here is literally the story of creation.
Hold it up to the camera so they can see it.
It's the story of creation within the universe in alignment with the chakra system.
Okay.
So you said the LGBTQ, I'm assuming, because it looks like rainbow colors.
Yeah, it looks like rainbow colors.
Now the LGBTQ, which is a little satanic sect operated by George Soros.
He said what he said.
Actually reversed the chakras. The rainbow is the visible light spectrum, which is in the center of the electromagnetic spectrum of the sun.
Okay.
And so you have red to purple. After purple, you get 780 terahertz level of vibration in light, and then it begins to solidify and become melanin. And then the sunlight hits the nitrogen in the atmosphere, specifically nitrogen-14. Nitrogen-14 converts into carbon-12, and this is why carbon is 99% throughout the universe. So I say to say this, the visible light spectrum is the chakras, it's the rainbow. And then when you reverse the chakras, you get the upside-down rainbow. So in your mind, you connected this with the LGBTQ because that is a form of brain control. They take the universal science and they pervert it, and then when you see it...
Could it not just be that we want to include everybody from every way?
It does not matter if you want to include everybody. You have to ask somebody. Listen here, we bring some blood and some Crips in here. We can include...
She jumped straight into division and separation. Literally what he said is it's coming from the same basis. It's just been inverted. So you would have this response because she didn't hear none of the intellectual ideas or concepts that he was trying to display or give to her. All she heard was him saying it was something other than the flag, and she just was like, "Can't it just be so simple?"
And I'm not saying I'm a gangbanger,
we do.
But you still got to ask them why they throwing up pitchforks.
Snoop Dogg is throwing up signs on national TV.
Who throws up a pitchfork? Why you throwing up a pitchfork? All I'm saying is people need to start explaining their behavior around here.
Okay.
Explain why you got that on. Explain, just like you asked me what direction.
Yeah, I agree.
Why can't I ask people, what is that symbol about?
What is that bracelet? What does that represent?
Oh, this just flyness right here.
Oh, it's just flyness?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is flyness right here.
All right, what about the other rings right there? Hold them up so they can see them.
Okay, this is that camera right there?
Yeah.
This is the eye of Horus right here. Also got this tatted on my face.
Okay.
And Derek Grace's wife stole my tattoo, so now I'm going to keep shooting my shot at his wife on purpose.
Well, I saw Brother Polite with that tattoo.
No, you didn't. You seen him with paint on his face. You didn't see him with a tattoo. Let's be specific here.
Okay.
You ain't never seen nobody on the planet Earth with this tattoo until I got it.
Okay.
And then his wife copied.
Okay.
But she didn't copy and say, you know what, I was inspired by young Pharaoh. She copy and then act like she did it first. And she's a black woman. But I ain't gonna say nothing to her, because if I do, I'm gonna be bullying. So now I'm gonna say something to her nigga. And now I wanna fight her nigga.
Do you not believe in, like, you setting trends?
Why are you so confrontational?
No, I believe in giving people their credit.
But not everybody's gonna give you credit. They may just see you as being inspired.
That's called intellectual disingenuousness.
Why? They don't know you. Did she know you?
It doesn't matter. When I give lectures, I don't say I found something out if I didn't find it out. I say this is where I got it from, because that's called intellectual integrity. That's a thing.
Okay.
Like, you can get kicked out of the scientific community for that. You can't steal somebody else's work.
That's citing someone's work. That's plagiarism or whatever you call it.
This means something to me.
What does it mean?
So if you've...
I don't think I would have been able to sit there and have a whole interview and conversation with her if she was giving me this type of energy. It just seems like she doesn't really want to talk to him. She just wants to undermine everything he's saying. This
right here is symbolic to oneness within the mind. So this right here looks like an eye, but it's actually glands and capacities within the brain. So the eyebrow is symbolic to thought, right? This right here is symbolic to smell. This right here is the tongue, is symbolic to taste. This right here is symbolic to physical touch. Taste, touch, sight, sound, smell. And then your eye is your pineal gland. It's called your third eye because it actually has an iris in the same tissues as your eye. You actually have an eye in your head. And so the eye of Horus, if you was to take the left and right hemispheres of the brain and separate them, you have what's called the corpus callosum in medical science. That looks exactly like this because it is. And our ancestors knew in Egypt that you only have one sense, which is your electromagnetic field, touch. In order for you to smell, atoms and molecules have to touch your nostrils. In order for you to hear, sound waves have to touch the bones in your ear. It's called bone conduction. In order for you to taste, food has to touch your tongue. In order for you to see, light has to touch your eyes. So you only really have one physical sense, which is touch. And you divide that one sense through feeling, just like that, just like they made that movie, The Sixth Sense. But anyway, that is what this is symbolic to. And I got this tattooed on my right eye because this is symbolic to my intellectual and my logistics side. On your right side is considered the eye of Ra, the all-seeing eye. So this means something to me spiritually. This is why I got it. I don't know why the fuck she went and got it.
Well, maybe it means something to her spiritually as well.
Well, why would you act like you? Why when you made it public, you didn't make it public the way I made it?
Now I know
Why did you make it like you was the originator and you came out with it first, and I got no credit?
I love your passion. I love your message. But I'm going to be honest with you, I get a little distracted with everything that you got going on here, okay? You know, as well as the viewers know, and everybody else that watches you, of course, because you said you are a very animated individual, okay? Being that you have done time, and you speak so passionately about your ancestors, have you been to Africa? Have you been to Egypt?
I'm about to go, but COVID slowed me down. I was going to go to Egypt, and then they dropped the COVID bomb, and I'm not taking the test. I'm not getting none of that.
But how do you speak so passionately about somewhere you've never been?
I'm about to go.
Okay. So what if you go over there?
But Egyptians were over here, though. You know that, right? You know it's pharaohs in the Grand Canyon, right?
I mean, I get that, but...
And they civilized. You know they came over here to civilize everybody over here.
So you read that in a book?
Yeah. The Mayans actually were civilized by the Egyptians. There's actually a temple over there called the Naga Maya Temple, which means brotherly tribe that came across the water.
And so that's my issue. It's like it's different from reading something as opposed to experiencing something, right? And so my thing is you're preaching so passionately, which I love, and I love to see my black men going in a positive direction, okay? Especially enlightening our people or anybody for that matter. But when you speak about something and you've never been there, I guess that's where the contradiction can be made. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But what is the contradict? Listen to me.
It's like me speaking about South Africa, and I ain't been nowhere near there.
What's 5 plus 5?
10.
Are you in a math class?
I was taught that.
Are you in a math class?
Own.
So why I can't be taught this on my own?
But you weren't. You read books. You read random books of people who have experienced.
Literally, I feel like she's just trying to find a reason to undermine it, like, because they weren't even talking about Africa. For her to be like, have you been to Africa? Like, you asked me about my tattoos, and now I'm telling you the meaning and the symbology behind my tattoo. And now you're trying to tell me I can't talk about the things I talk about because I haven't been to Africa?
It's Egypt,
no, who have been there? Who have been there?
Okay.
Who have been there? Have you ever been in prison?
So what if you go and you find out what if you go and you find out they don't even like a motherfucker like you?
Who is they?
Egyptians. What if you go?
We are the Egyptians.
What if
Are you
I'm
crazy?
talking about the Egyptians that are on the land now. Okay?
Ain't no
You
Egyptians
are
on the land now.
An American black man right now, here, okay?
And then
so,
tell me-
yeah, you can identify, just
No,
like the
no, 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 no.
LGBTQ
Let's
identifies
redefine this properly.
as LGBTQ.
Let's
You identify as Egyptian, although you are
He's better than me.
born
I would've
here.
said
Nah, this is
you're
where I
right.
Your
have to-
mom was born here.
No, but this is what I have to tell you. This is
Okay.
where I have to tell you that you're not scientifically.
If you were
Literally, it seems like this from the very beginning. I said the way she is talking is undermining and condescending, and she's not really here to listen. As soon as she got past, okay, I can't get on any of the jewelry or the things he's wearing because he has an intellectual reason for having them. Let's just undermine the fact that he's never been somewhere. Because like, where him being in Africa or not has nothing to do with the information that was in the books. Especially from someone who didn't read the books either. So you've never been and you haven't read the book. So how are you to tell me I don't have any right to speak on the topic?
And you're not within the intellectual capacity to speak on that because you don't understand genetics. The people over there are considered Caucasian. They're Arabs. Arabs are genetically considered Caucasians. Arabs and white people both come from the Caucasus Mountains. Now, with that being said, those are not Egyptians. So how they gonna be mad at me for coming home?
So you're
how they gonna be
telling-
mad at me for coming home? They not even supposed to be there. If anything, I'm supposed to be mad at them for being over there and destroying shit, breaking shit, stealing shit, eating mummies, having sex with mummies.
But listen. You're a very, very smart man. But do you know how ridiculous that sounds?
Okay, it sounds ridiculous that a group of nomads, homeless people, are in control of our cultural property, and I have an issue with that. But if I was to go to ancient Greece right now and steal a statue of Athena, I would expect white people to get upset
But
with me.
because you are in the system, you really can't rightfully claim anything. You're a property of
Who told you
the
that?
United States.
Who told you that?
Your
Is
family
she
told me
trolling?
that.
Who
What
told
are
you
you
that?
talking about?
Who told you
That's
that?
why you can't travel.
Listen, I'm not the property of anybody.
Okay.
My record reflects that I've had criminal interactions with the law, and they're actually in the wrong. So when this get off my record and I win this lawsuit, I want to see what everybody got to say.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I
I'm not the
wouldn't have
property of a
spoke to her.
motherfucker. I'm a natural, living, breathing entity.
So why are you so afraid
I'm not
of the
afraid.
American government? You're carrying a gun. You walk
I'm
around
not afraid.
with a ton of security.
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. I'm aware. You've never been to prison. You don't know what the fuck these people doing when ain't nobody looking.
Okay.
Ain't nobody violating nobody like
But
the police.
you're not in prison now?
Doesn't matter. I know what they're doing. I know for a fact the police will frame your ass. I know that they'll pull you over and put some shit in your car and say you had it and take you to jail and get you to where can't nobody see you and kill your ass. In jail, they killing motherfuckers and still counting them like they're there. They give you 20 years, kill you, bury you in a graveyard that's in the backyard, and they'll come around every day and count your ass like you in that cell and you ain't been in that cell for 5 years. They doing that. But nobody paying black men attention. Y'all not paying us attention. We surviving that motherfucker on our own.
I
kill or be
feel
killed.
like
I don't
you
like her.
would be a lot more acceptable to people.
I don't care to be acceptable to nobody.
No. Because if you were claimed to be chosen, like you said,
No, the people come to me when they have questions that they know I got the answers to.
okay.
Other
But
than that,
if you want to change, what is if you want to change people, not change yourself, if you want people to wake up, shouldn't you relate to them?
I do. Y'all don't. People in this world are in pain. People in this world going through shit. Motherfuckers is on this camera acting like everything is glitz and glamour. That's not how the world really is.
That's not life. That's not life.
I know that's not life, but I'm talking about where I came from. I got to speak on behalf of where I came from. I came from the projects. I came from where the crackhead keep the lights on. That's where I came from. I didn't come from where nobody else came from.
Even though you were raised in the projects, you still had a pretty good life coming up, is what you're saying.
Hell nah.
But
I had
you
a
said in the
horrible
beginning.
life.
But you said in the beginning.
I had a good life until my family fucked my grandma specifically and all my grimy ass aunts fucked my household up and ran my stepdad out.
Well, tell us about the good times coming up. Because I know you don't have all
Football, video games,
this. Okay. That's it?
girls.
That's it?
That's it.
No memories with your family.
No, besides shit everybody do. Like play outside, my family used to drop us off at my grandma's house and bounce. And it'd be 20 of us at my grandma's house watching ourselves. I grew up around people that's black women, that's drunks, and all hell could break loose. I grew
Okay,
up around
so
very immature and irresponsible adults. We was smarter than the goddamn adults, raising our damn selves.
Okay.
I grew up in a household where the oldest watch the youngest, and then the youngest become the oldest, and they watch the next youngest, and the parents is out doing whatever. That's the truth. Ain't no fucking lie. The parents want to party and club, and we watching our fucking selves, fending for ourselves. That's the truth. That ain't no lie. That is not a lie.
I like this lady, bro.
That's where
not
I'm
in
from.
all. That's where you're from, but that's not in all cases, though. So
Yeah, but it's in a lot.
Very, very.
All cases,
even
what?
middle
You just
class,
asked him
wealthy,
about
even
himself.
not so wealthy.
I feel like she literally is just bringing up stuff so she could condescend and contradict what he's already saying. Because nobody said that's everybody. Nobody said that's everything. You asked him about yourself. Tell me about the good times in your life. He said, I did normal kid stuff. There are no specific good times unless you. Yeah,
Black families who are really doing what they got to do. A lot of parents are working. Black parents are working, and so they're not able to really be there for their kids because it's either I put food on the table.
Or mothers are keeping kids from their dads to be spiteful. Dads don't give a fuck. A lot of parents is having kids, and then they feeling like the kids is messing up their shine.
But you're generalizing a lot of this stuff, and these are
No, I grew up in the ghetto. That's what it is.
I mean, I grew up in the ghetto too, and we had some fathers there and some weren't, and some mothers there and some weren't. It wasn't all the way across the spectrum like that. Not everybody fits that narrative.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
But that's what I said. I'm speaking on where I'm from.
Okay. And so everybody that you were around were pretty much
savage. Yeah. Hell yeah.
You do realize it's about survival.
Traditional.
I don't understand why she had him on the show, because like it seems like she just has a problem with everything this dude gotta say. He better than me, because I would have been gone. Let's see. How far into this is it?
It is about survival.
He sat there for, I was about to say, I would have made it for 10 minutes. I would have been gone already.
And a lot of these people
Not
that
aware.
you have woken up are probably in the projects right now listening to you.
Right.
And want that knowledge. But because of the...
They can go right to ottonuniversity.com where there's over 1,000 videos of content. Okay. I got a shout out by the CIA. Who the fuck do you know did that? Robert Steele, to be exact, ex-CIA agent, gave me a shout out. And I used him in a lecture before I ever even knew that he knew that I knew who he was. So, okay, nobody called me crazy. Want me to play the clip?
I need you to play. I'm sure it's online. So.
Yeah, it's on my YouTube and it's on my Instagram. So I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Ain't nobody in this world gonna tell me, until you show me a black person out here that got a shout out from the CIA, I'm bopping on these fools.
So if you seem to have not all the answers, but some of the answers, and you know how to wake the community up, why aren't people? Why
people
do you
don't want to be awake, woman.
They don't care. I realized people didn't care one time. I tried to help this dude with his case. He had a robbery. I'm like, bro, you could beat this case. Just take this case law. This man looked me dead in my eyes and said, man, I don't feel like reading that shit. I'm about to just cop out there 5 years. And I was like, what? But you'd be surprised how people's own laziness is the cause of their demise. I've been betrayed by this community. You know how many people tell me, you talk like a white boy, you act like a nerd.
I don't think you talk like a white boy.
But I've been told that.
Especially with them goals in your mouth.
Yeah, but I've been told that.
Okay.
Oh, you talk like a white boy, you act like a nerd. My children's mother, both my children's mothers, became very destructive and very combative to me because they felt like I was pussy, because I wasn't right. Like right now, I feel some type of way. So a little bit of, not saying I'm reckless, but a little bit of my chest is puffed out. But before I was chilling. I was just reading books, meditating, working out, and minding my business. And they thought I was pussy. So we just have to be honest. The black community does not value intellect. I got bullied by this community. It's on camera. I got bullied by this community for 5 years, by the adults and the people my age.
I'm gonna say this. I definitely have been following him in like 2019, 2018, and things that he was saying. And people definitely was in his comments saying all types of stuff, flaming him, telling him he was crazy, he was tripping, and stuff that she was even saying, like, what's this jewelry? What's this on your face? Like, how do you know all of this? You feel me? It was like,
I dare you.
He's better than me, because I couldn't have sat there and talked to this lady for that long. She only got 20 minutes of my time. She pissed me off in the first 8 minutes.